Hi.
Thanksgiving.
You know what? I have a problem. I can't hear you. Hold on a minute. All right. Can you hear me?
I can.
I cannot hear you, Coach.
I checked my side.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I know we've got, oh, here we go.
You unmuted
Now,
me.
I muted myself.
Happy Thanksgiving, Coach.
I couldn't hear our cool music. I missed the whole intro because I couldn't hear anything. My sound was off.
It was fun.
Oh, I know. I missed the turkey. I almost want to play the intro again just so I can hear that cute little turkey. Oh, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I discovered something. As I told you earlier, Coach, I discovered that at age 48, you have to be particularly careful when loading the dishwasher. Because if you're not careful and you make the wrong turn, you will be in bed for 3 days with a broken back. We're fragile when we're 48 years old. Just wait. You just wait.
Okay, I'm going to plan on preparing for my future so I don't have to struggle with that. So lots of stretching.
Yeah.
Lots of healthy food.
No. That is wrong. No, that's wrong. I have the solution for you. It is not that. It is not that at all. It's don't do dishes.
Throwawables.
Paper plates. Because moving is a hazard at this point.
I mean, for you, you're not wrong.
Oh, dear. No, literally, this is the first I've gotten dressed. I went to church on Sunday and put my pajamas on after I got home, and this is the first I got dressed. The only reason why I'm dressed today is because I had an important meeting this morning. So it's like, yeah, getting old is real. But the cool thing is we recover much quicker when we're healthy. So, and then on top of it, I got a cold. I haven't been sick since the Rona. I got a cold on top of everything else. I'm like, okay, just hit me more.
Vitamins, minerals,
vitamin,
exercise. Sometimes, you know what? It's okay to be sick sometimes.
It is okay.
I heard somewhere that if you're never sick, you should probably be a little bit more concerned because that's where everything is focused on. Maybe like if it's a cancerous cell or things like that. So it can be
healing. Yeah,
it's trying to heal it, and so you're never sick because of that reason. So be careful.
Totally.
About that. Some people
totally.
It.
Yeah. Well, and people. I read this over. On the internet somewhere. So it's true, right? I read somewhere that people, try to get rid of their fevers. And so they'll take Tylenol to get rid of their fever, but the fever serves a purpose in healing your body and go into those bad cells and inflammation and all of that. So I'm going to take 1 second here and put myself on focus because I don't want anybody disturbing us. So, all right. Well, it is almost Thanksgiving, and so we want to talk today about something kind of silly. Darcy, so I would like to know, we go to the same Thanksgiving dinner, but I was wondering what you're going to bring up first. Would you bring up, should we talk about like Donald Trump? or
spiral. Yeah.
Or we could talk about theology. Theology is just as dangerous as Donald Trump, right? At Thanksgiving at the table.
Yes.
If you're listening to us, what are you going to bring up first at your table? It's so funny because my daughter-in-law talks about my son, of whom I raised, and she's like, do you know you raised a fire starter? He likes to come in, throw a bomb, and then sit back and watch it burn.
You know what? I can do that.
We have some of those in our family. We have some of those. Not even kidding about that.
It's fun.
Everybody has something. I know.
You're the one that gets thrown under the bus if you do it.
I know. Or it could be drunk Uncle Ronald too. He could be a fire thrower. So
listen, I think it's important to, if you are going to create conversation, I think a safe one is to say, "Hey, what's been going on in your life? What have you been up to?"
Yeah.
That's a personal question.
What have you been up to? Unless they're a campaign manager for one of the politicrators. Yeah.
Then you know that you don't go up to that person and ask what you've been doing.
Or a pastor.
Yeah, Mark and I have done some travels, and we've not really
traveling
to talk about it. So if you want to talk to me about my travels,
traveling is safe, completely safe.
Tell you about my events and during that time than talking about politics.
Okay, so there's a safe one to talk about at Thanksgiving. If you're watching us, tell us what you're planning on talking about at your Thanksgiving table. Whether it be a fire starter or something safe. But Darce, one of the things that should be safe that's really not safe, and this is what we want to talk about today, is our health.
Yes.
And I've been a lobbyist slash activist slash I have an opinion, about some things in my life. And I always thought that was the only place that I'd ever have controversy. That I am instructed in this category. Now, when I first started, it wasn't a dog eat dog world. People were actually nice to each other when I first started lobbying, and they actually listened to the other side, and they actually had conversations. But by the time I was finished and I was 250 pounds, there was no niceness about it. It was put your boxing gloves on, go get what you want, and get out, right? So I thought when I left that, I realized I was really, really unhealthy, and I had to get my life under control. And so I lost 120 pounds. I thought, well, that's the end of that world. I
want to give you the scenario. Ready? This is terrible to say, but we're going to have a play here in a second.
Okay. All right.
So I'm seeing you for the first time. You've lost 120 pounds. I haven't seen you since you were, larger. Like all of a sudden you look like, is something wrong with you? Like you've lost a ton of weight. Betty, have you seen Monica? Is she sick? Does she have cancer?
Cancer.
Does she have worms? Like ask yourself that. And then you're like, oh, Monica, what are you okay? What have you been doing?
Oh my gosh. We laugh about that, but that is so true. That is what our clients face. I've got a client right now who's lost 90 pounds. She's going to go to her family dinner and she's going to experience some of that. Do you have cancer? Are you sick?
Yep.
Are you unwell? And you would think that, and some people, for everything we say, there's an opposite reaction and there's potential support out there. I didn't experience so much of that because the reality is there's a lot of unsupport in health journeys. And so a lot of people get talked about behind their back. Is she starving herself? I heard this. I heard she was eating a pound of bacon every day. Yeah. Can you imagine how unhealthy that she just looks horrible? I mean, that stuff is reality. That stuff is real and it happens. And so what we are doing this week with our clients is we're preparing them for that because when I lost the weight, it's a lot of gosh darn hard work to lose weight.
Yep.
When I lost the weight, I'm like, maybe people will be happy with me. Maybe I will have meant something to them. Maybe I'll be enough. And that's coming from my background of being, feeling like I was never enough. But when I lost the weight, I would think to myself, well, maybe they'll be happy with me now. And so I would go into these situations with an expectation of them being proud of me. And when they weren't, it messed with my head a lot. And our clients deal with this. And so keto, health in general, calories, macros, whatever you want to call it, is like talking politics at the table. Mm-hmm. It's like saying the word Donald Trump and throwing it on the table and walking away and having the sparks. It really is. And you wouldn't think so. Really.
Right.
You would not think. You would think people would support, and they really don't. Yep. Some do.
I was that one person that was not supportive of you.
But I didn't. You hit it well. You hid it well. I did not hear the gossip, or I didn't hear it.
Because I had the gossip. I have another sister that I can go to.
Oh my gosh.
She can get started. She can tell you. She could give you the front view of how Darcy was actually feeling when you were going through this.
Yeah.
She was
now my feelings are hurt.
But no. She was she was the one who was like, well, look at her side. Look at this, what she's doing. So
she's always been that way.
Yeah.
She's always been that way in our family. The peacekeeper, middle child peacekeeper. Yeah.
But
it's real.
It is.
Real.
It really is. And
so you had feelings on that side of being the person that was doing it, and you've also experienced it and been on the receiving end. So talk from the perspective of somebody throwing those darts at somebody who's lost a lot of weight.
Well, it seems like people that when there's a topic, they become a know-it-all, or they know everything because of the things that they've read, or their Aunt Betty's neighbor died from ketoacidosis. So they automatically think, because it has the word keto in it, that it's from the keto diet. So it's the misinformation that you're absorbing from the medias, from these platforms, from people's, own personal experience, that they may have attempted to do this, but they've never truly.
They don't know. Right.
They really don't know.
Right.
And
it's not their fault. They don't know.
I not only lost friends over this, but I knew how I felt. That was the most important thing, is I did it the right way. I did it the proper, healthy way. And yet I was still being bashed. I was still like, well, my doctor says this. My doctor told me that this is what happens when you're eating a stick of butter, which I never do. I don't eat sticks of butter. That is information. And then when you are losing the weight, they're curious. They want to know what you do. But then when they hear certain words that they don't like getting rid of carbs, then you're just talking to a wall.
Right,
and you're having to then do that political thing where now you're trying to prove yourself that this is a really great way of living.
Yeah. So it could be generally and genuine concern. Like, I heard this on the news. I mean, if you Google our lifestyle, it's like, my gosh, you think that we are eating a stick of butter and licking bacon all day, because of misinformation. They don't understand. No, the macronutrients are based on weight loss. They're based on every essential vitamin that our body needs. So they just simply genuinely don't understand. And they come to you with a sincere heart of concern. Like, please don't die. I love you. That's one aspect. Another one is jealousy. A lot of times, and if you watch these weight loss shows, you'll see it. Every person who is morbidly obese has an enabler.
Yes.
And that enabler typically is somebody who's overweight and who has tried and tried and tried. And so in order to pump themselves up, they've got to bring the other person down. And that's just a natural thing. And they genuinely might not feel like their heart feels that way, but that's really the bottom line is simple, jealousy. And that's real. That is real. And so we prepare our clients, be ready for that. Be ready for all sides of this. Be ready. Yesterday, I gave a Cliff Notes version to our clients. This is what we do. This is the science behind what we do, why we do it. And it was just in a little tiny package. Here's what you tell. Here's what you tell your people. Because they want to know, the science behind why you're getting healthy. It's math. It's simple math, right? And it's simple science of hormones. Hormone balance, and so it could be somebody who just doesn't understand. It could be simple jealousy. And third one, do you have a third one? Why somebody would bring somebody down like that and not support. By the way, let me talk to you. I'm the mean one of the both of us. I'm the one that tells the truth a lot. Let me tell you, if you are one of those people who have somebody who is trying to get healthy on that side of the tracks, and they are doing everything they can, if you don't support them, shame on you. Absolutely shame on you, unless they are literally starving themselves. Now, there's times to intervene. Totally get there's times to intervene. You go on a starvation diet, I am the number one person standing in your way between those 800 calories and your life. I'm going to fight for you if you're starving yourself. But if you've got somebody who's genuinely trying to lose weight, I don't care how they're doing it, and they are genuinely trying and they are struggling, you better gosh darn get behind them and support them and be the wind in their sails. And maybe it's not a type of lifestyle that you like. It doesn't matter. They are putting in the effort and they need your support.
And here's the thing, that on my journey, when I was starting to feel good about myself, because let's face it, I had a lot of my mind telling me negative things about myself, comparison. I may have looked like I was happy, but I guarantee I had this giant mask on that was just my fake happy mask, because inside I can recall, it's just like you in the your experience with the theme park. Mine was this concert that I went to that I remember how so uncomfortable that I felt in my own skin. And I was blaming it on the shirt that I was wearing.
Yeah.
And the fact was that the people around me did not see what I was feeling. They just saw me as like an outgoing, happy person, but I wanted to rip my skin off. I wanted to go out of the concert, go next door to a store and buy a extra large shirt that would just kill me.
You don't know what that person's facing, the demons that they're facing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you go and when somebody's losing the weight and they say, "Oh, you've always been beautiful to me."
Oh.
Great. That's awesome. I love it. I never said I wasn't beautiful. I never said that I was an ugly person.
Yes.
I just felt uncomfortable in my own skin.
That is offensive. Just in case you have ever done this. Yeah. And again, I don't speak for all people. I speak for myself. When you tell somebody after they've lost a lot of weight and after they have worked their butt off getting healthy, and you say things like, "Well, you were always beautiful," that's offensive to me because it negates what I have done. It negates the fact that I have worked so hard to be a better person in my eyes. And when you tell somebody, "Oh, you were always beautiful," I know your intentions. Intentions are beautiful, right? Yes. Does that impact you, Darcy? Does that saying affect you like it does me?
It did. I understand the point of view that they want to make sure you were loved anyway, no matter what you looked like, and I get that. I'm not necessarily offended by it, but it's more of, I want you to see what I've accomplished.
Yes.
I want you to see the hard work that I put into this, and I'm not starving myself. I'm not eating salads every day. I'm not going down a pathway where I'm going to be sick. I'm making healthier choices that I should have done from the way beginning, where I'm eating like my ancestors used to eat. How we should, that's how God created us to eat. He did not create us to eat every 2 hours, every minute after we've had a meal. We should not be eating all this garbage that we are eating now. We are not focused on that.
Right.
And that's where the addiction in our minds come from. That's where the unhealthiness in our minds come from. So if my mind's unhealthy, then everything else of me is unhealthy.
And your person needs to hear that. They need to see, and they need to sit with you and have you acknowledge what they're doing.
Yeah.
I didn't need somebody to say, "Oh, you were beautiful and everything was okay before." I needed that person to say, "Listen, I'm proud of you.
Yes.
Listen, I know you've worked hard." And so that's just a tip from somebody who was morbidly obese and who went through, because honestly, our family does not know how to treat us when we change our lives.
Right.
I personally chose to go through 8 weeks of counseling after I lost the weight because I didn't know who I was. And let alone my spouse didn't know who I was because I was a different, he's had 2 different wives since we've been married for 28 years, right? 28 or 29, I can't remember remember the number, but he's lived with 2 different women. And so sometimes I understand why families do what they do. I hear it because it's very scary you feel like you're losing your person.
Yeah.
You feel like, "Oh, well, she'll never go out and party with me again, or she'll never have a piece of cake with me again. Or she is bettering herself without me." There is nothing more scary And this is the number one thing that we struggle with. Well, I'll speak for my clients, Darce, because it might not be your number one. But one of my number one things is I wrestle with family members not supporting my clients because they might be leaving them behind. They are building and creating a new lifestyle that perhaps they will lose that old person, and it scares them. And so when you get a family together, there can be a lot of hurt. We pick up a lot of pieces after the holidays for our clients. One of the best things that you can do, if you're ever thinking about getting a coach or thinking about getting help, is to get that coach before the holidays, because we get in the mud and we wrestle with the ugly with you. Because the ugly is not just calories and low carb and macros. That's not the ugly. The ugly is, what do I do when Uncle Harold says, do you have cancer because you look like you've lost a lot of weight? Those things dig deep and they hurt. And so a lot of what we do as coaches is we pick up the pieces after those family sessions and those family get-togethers, right? And it is scary, honestly. I empathize with people who are dealing with somebody who's changing their life. It is very, very scary, especially if you're dealing with a weight problem yourself. The fear of being left behind is very, very scary. But what we are asking you as coaches is, if you've got one of those people in your life who are healthy, do not go up to them and say, just one bite won't hurt. Do not go up to them with a piece of pumpkin pie and say, just one, you'll get back on plane tomorrow.
Scratch, you should have it. I worked really hard at making
yes, this is my specialty. I worked really hard, and you're going to say no? Do you know you may be dealing with a food addict that if she takes one bite of that, whatever you've offered her, guilted her into, she's going to go on a 30-pound sugar binge because of you, because of your pride, because of whatever reason you have behind not supporting. Yeah. Right? Just one bite. Right. You can get back on plan tomorrow. Just fast tomorrow. You'll get right back on plan. If you're dealing with a sugar addict or a food addict, it's not just hop right back on the wagon. That's like going into a bar and saying just one drink won't hurt you. You can stop tomorrow. Not for an alcoholic, you can't. Right. So when I signed up, when I planned this today, it was about the person, and we're gonna go there. So yes. What do we do if you're the person? Yes. But my message is to you: if you've got someone in your life, I just feel like stop it and support your people. Support those people. Unless they're hurting their bodies, you support them and you congratulate them and you beautify them, and keep your mouth shut if you can't. Right? Yeah. All right.
So I'll start in
on
what we help our clients go through for the holiday seasons, or when they're going out to eat, or these tricky situations that they don't start this lifestyle because they're like, well, I don't know what to do about this. I'm going to fall off the wagon. I'm just going to binge eat or do whatever because of this event. Well, listen, there's things that you can do. The first one we like to talk about is being a chameleon.
Keto chameleon.
In their environment on purpose. And that's to be kind of hidden. You're obviously not going to hide very well if you've lost a lot of weight and your family hasn't seen you very, very much. So that, yes, unfortunately, but fortunately, you can't.
You know what, Darce? You know what?
What?
Own it. Like if you have done this, bring a red carpet with you, and you just own it. And you walk into that Thanksgiving room and say, "I'm here." Roll out the stinking red carpet and celebrate. Right?
The chameleon in red.
Chameleon in red, absolutely.
And if you don't want the controversy and you don't necessarily want to be pinpointed, then you can just say, hey, I've just decided to change my lifestyle for eating healthier. That's what I've chosen. And just leave it at that. You don't have to explain yourself, because when I started, I felt like I had to explain myself to people.
Right.
I don't owe anybody that.
I owe nobody.
Nothing. I owe myself because I damaged my body for so many years. And so now I'm going to be a better me because of that. But I don't owe anybody, I don't owe anybody a definition of what keto is and why it's not going to make you die, or why it's not going to hurt your numbers, or, fill in the blanks of all the things that people think. But you don't owe anybody anything.
You don't. And here's a popular one. You brought this up in group yesterday. By the way, thank you for taking group yesterday. She was my rock. I'm like, I can't even talk right now. I was feeling pretty puny, but you brought one up yesterday that was a reality. It is really cool right now to be gluten-free. That's the fad. Now, I'm 100% behind that movement because gluten to your gut is absolutely terrorizing. And when you're keto, you're automatically gluten-free. But when people say, oh, I'm gluten-free, they're praised. Oh, yes, Now, we take it a step further and we can get the actual crap out of that food that's raising and spiking our insulin, right? But just say you're gluten-free. This is a choice I made. I'm gluten-free.
Technically with these allergies, people have 1,000 million different types of allergies anymore. And so restaurants, places that you go to that you don't, typically eat at, they understand that people have allergies, that, they could possibly die if they eat some nuts or peanuts or any of those things. So they are not going to want to kill you. So they're going to want to be able to give you what you need that will help you be able to be happy at their restaurant or happy at this event. So when you say, hey, I have allergies, it's not a lie.
No, it's really not. If I had a piece of sugar, if I had sugar right now as a food addict, I would go down a 30-pound sugar binge. And I was killing myself. When I was 250 pounds, I was on the way to my death because I had stroke level blood pressure. I was killing myself. So to me, if I picked up an ounce of sugar at Thanksgiving, it could be life or death for me. And that is how I treat it. Hey, before we go any further, we want to stop. And if you have not grabbed your holiday cookbook, now is the time to do it. We're giving it away completely free. The thing of it is, you have to have your camera ready because we got a QR code that you click on and you snap a picture of that QR code, click on the link. It's going to take you right to the cookbook download. So make sure you got your camera ready. I'm giving you a couple seconds warning. Grab your cookbook because we want you to be prepared this holiday season. And right on the backside of Thanksgiving is Christmas. And so we're going to go right into that. So if you have not done so, download your cookbook and we will be back in about 15 seconds. All right. Was that the right one?
It was.
What was the gingerbread?
It's not in that one.
Oh, I was looking for him.
No, if you play the next one.
After Thanksgiving.
I'm going to make a new one, and it's going to have the gingerbread man in it.
I think we need a new intro as well with some Christmas music. I really do. Would you get on that this week with all of your free time?
Yeah, I like the mix because I can put my lip chap on.
I know. Crazy. I have a pounding headache today. It's like either a combination of my cold or the fact that it's raining out there, but my head is just like going crazy wild.
I'm not who this Facebook user is, but I think it's normal to get sick, even if you're healthy. It's okay to be sick. And you just that's what vitamins and minerals and all those things are important because we don't get those vitamins and minerals in our food.
Yeah. So I don't know if this Facebook user is sick or if they're talking about my sickness, but we can't dodge all of those little boogers out there. The cool thing is when you're eating healthy and when your body's healthy, you can kick it in the butt a lot quicker than you used to be able to. So
I liked my layer description yesterday as well. I was pretty proud of that one. So it's like, when you decide to get healthy and you have all these ailments on top of you. Oh, hey, Patty.
Patty.
That's my mother-in-law.
Well, Patty, I have a headache too. So I'm like, I don't know. We did be talking about me too.
So anyway, when you have ailments, you have say you have diabetes, you have maybe PCOS, all these things that are piled up on top of you. When you decide to get healthy, you are slowly reversing those ailments, which then those layers start to come off. So
Yeah.
if you're able to dive deeper into what the root cause of what your sickness truly is. So if it's just a cold, if it's somebody that sneezed on you, you can't prevent that. Like that's going to be, but it's going to go
Yeah.
faster. You're not going to be sick
Right.
for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Right. And
anyway.
so much of our sickness is covered up in layer and layer of inflammation. The majority of sickness is inflammation. And as we lower our inflammation and as we reverse those metabolic issues, it becomes easier and easier to address those things. I mean, we will always have the cold and flu season, you know? I mean, it's just people are shocked when COVID hits. Like,
Right.
it's normally this kind of season anyway. It's just what we do with it. So let's switch over to the person. So we talked about the evil bad people that do not support their people when it comes to weight loss. Let's talk about our response. What should our response be? And you can take several different tactics, and we'll talk about them. You can punch them in the face. We talked about that in group yesterday, right? You can punch them in the face and say, just shut up. Well, we probably shouldn't do that, okay?
Oh.
You can use, the keto chameleon way. Yeah. But somebody brought up in our group yesterday that there are legitimately people who are secretly watching you, who are like, I am desperate for you to give me the answer. Mm-hmm. And so we encourage our successful clients. So we take our clients through an entire program. We have a signature program that we take them through. I believe in teaching people the science. You can't just tell people, lower your carbs and it'll work. They want to know why. They want to know why. When you lower your carbs, you stop that sugar, you stop that glucose from turning into insulin, you stop making so much insulin that you become insulin resistant. By the way, did you know you were insulin resistant about 10 years before you were diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which almost too late at that point. Yeah. So if you're dealing with insulin resistance, it's all about insulin and spiking and keeping your insulin low. We want our clients to know why. And I wrestle with this one because when Renee taught me how to do keto, I didn't care. She would talk to me about the pancreas like it was a superhero and the liver. And I'm like, I don't stinking care about my liver or about my pancreas. The fact of the matter is I needed to know. Because once you know what is going on and the duties that your liver carries with it, you can't unsee it.
Right.
And then you have the science to back it up. So you may be having it at your Thanksgiving table, somebody who's legitimately like, hey, I need you to tell me because I'm desperate. I am so desperate. Now, I would not recommend throwing it across the Thanksgiving table as an official conversation because you're going to have those Aunt Becky's out there or those Aunt Karens out there. Sorry if you're Becky or Karen. But you're going to have those people that say, well, I heard that keto thing and those people get ketoacidosis, you know. Those people, you're going to have that. So use wisdom. Don't use your newfound education as a weapon.
No.
Say, you know what? I'd love to talk to you about it. Let's go outside after dinner. I'll tell you because it's not as hard as you think. And there's a reason why I do this. There's a reason why I choose to do some fasting. There's a reason why I've gotten rid of the sugars. There's a reason why I don't eat seed oils. And you've got those people who really want to know, but don't throw it across the Thanksgiving table as, you know, unless you have a really weird family who really wants to hear from you. I don't. I don't. I'm sure of it.
I think understanding the science behind things, it comes with, like, I know a lot of our clients are not interested in that, like our new clients, but as they are living this lifestyle over the years, they're like, you know what? I actually love the science. I love the fact that our bodies can heal themselves as long as we give them an opportunity to. So I love the fact to know that that's what God created our bodies to do.
Absolutely.
But, you know, the simple answer as well is being to say, like, you know, our ancestors back in the day, they used to eat like this all the time. Like this was how they lived. And diseases were still around, but not the obesity problem that we have today. And that really started in like this 1950s. Like that started then. So when they started making these prepackaged things, knowing all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It becomes clear that we've really warped our food system,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's a whole new process.
Yeah.
Like it was a normal thing to fast. It was a normal thing to eat meat.
Yeah.
It was a normal thing to eat, the things that you scavenged out in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
normal.
So if you're a real flamethrower, like if you're like my son Tony, who is like throw the flame, set it on fire, and walk away, you could bring politics into the keto world, and you could say, did you know that our government officials have been the ones to create obesity? Did you know? Okay, don't do that.
Don't do that.
You can't unsee this stuff.
No, you can't.
The whole metformin thing, on a side note, I don't know if you saw my post, because I don't think you watch my posts, which hurts my feelings. Hurts my feelings.
Ever.
I know.
Ever.
A lot of people do, but you do not. But I posted something on metformin.
I didn't see that.
It is maddening. These doctors throw metformin out to their patients like candy. And this thing is literally, they say it's lowering your glucose. What it's doing is it's throwing the glucose. It's not eliminating glucose. It is throwing the glucose into your other parts of your body, into your arms, your legs, which type 2 diabetes, when you're diagnosed, you risk losing the functions of these things that they're actually shoving it out to. Oh, I just get so angry. And then I read yesterday that they've recalled metformin because of cancer, because it causes cancer. And I'm like, gosh darn it, we can turn this ship around and we can heal this stuff based on what we eat. We don't have to deal with all that stuff. So, try doing that. Mention the name. Here's a flamethrower for Thanksgiving table. Mention the name metformin.
Wait a minute.
Metformin.
The flamethrowers. We're not doing that.
Oh, okay. All right. We won't do it. But that, if you want to, that's how you do it. Or you could say the word weight loss shots. Woo!
Girl. Right. We're gonna stop this for a second. It's important to do your work. It's important to learn the things and understand why you're living the lifestyle that you are, and understand the depths of what it's doing to your body, allowing your organs to be able to, every single night, have a cleanup hour. That's when you sleep. That's what it's supposed to do. But you're not giving the opportunity to.
Yeah.
When you understand that science, then it's going to be like, oh, well, that makes sense. So we're not, this is not a crazy lifestyle like people are making it out to be.
It's simple. It's simple.
It's simple. But you know what?
And if you want, we will send you, if you are one of those that says, hey, I've been doing this and I don't know what to say to my family, we will send you our Cliff Notes version. All you got to do is message us, and it's one sentence, literally one sentence. Message us. We will send you the Cliff Notes version of why we do what we do.
Yep.
And some people genuinely want to know, right?
I need to plug in something.
Okay. All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
This is my plug because it's 11:36. But this is my plug for you ladies out there. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I have a program starting here after Thanksgiving. And this is, I did the calculations, it's over 70% off. It's
You literally did you literally did them. Yeah.
0.6% off.
Mm-hmm.
It will never happen again. I
can tell you that right now.
I'm going to talk to my coach till I'm blue in the face saying, hey, I don't think this is a great idea, but I'm going to take advantage of it because this is our 90-day program where it is going to give you a coach all the way through the holiday seasons.
February.
Holiday seasons till February.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to talk about weight loss, balancing hormones, and all the other fun stuff. And a group. A group setting. So get on that. The seats are filling up. So there is a limited space that you will have. So you better get yourself signed up now because it is, I'm going to say it again, over 70% off.
Not going to happen again. I was not using my brain when I came up with the pricing for that. I was not.
It's a gift.
But it is a gift because
we're passionate about it. We are passionate about this program because we've been living this lifestyle now. And I mean, we've been living the keto lifestyle, but we've now found the new form of freedom for our hormones. Hormonal freedom. That's what it is. Hormonal freedom.
Hormonal freedom. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it is. So we want to spread the news to all you ladies who are struggling with menopause, perimenopausal brain fog,
PCOS,
PMDD, all these things in the world.
Yeah.
That's happening to us.
I just sent you a client yesterday, Darcy, for the group who just had a baby. My gosh, what a time to get those hormones regulated again.
Absolutely.
I mean, gosh, your hormones are at high capacity and you feel like you're losing your mind. Get them under control a lot quicker. And so, big time. So our message to you today is don't run from the conversations. Do not feel shame. Own your change and be confident in it. People do not understand for lots of different reasons. They do not understand the health changes, and it could simply just be a matter of jealousy. And so really stand your ground when you go to the Thanksgiving dinners. There's no need to take Aunt Joanna's pumpkin pie because it's her specialty. That's wonderful, Aunt Joanna. I'm so happy that you have that specialty. However, my body cannot handle this right now, and I'm choosing to say thank you, but no thank you. Do not get pressured into it. Your journey.
Bring your own pumpkin pie.
Huh?
Bring your own.
Bring your own. Absolutely. You can totally ketoize a pumpkin pie. Okay. So if you downloaded our
Mom, I need some pumpkin pie tomorrow or Thursday.
I think there was a pumpkin pie in that cookbook that we offered here earlier. So anyway, stand your ground. And by the way, the message is also to those people who do not support your people. Make sure you don't unintentionally say something stupid. Make sure you're supporting your family and friends who are changing their lives, who are getting healthy, and who are trying their best. Sometimes when you're dealing with addiction, it is the hardest battle that you will ever face, and you will never understand what it's like to be in their shoes unless you've been in their shoes. And some of you have been in their shoes and you understand why you want them to fail. Okay. Yeah. So we want to really, really poke you a bit. We don't usually poke a lot on our lives, but we really want to poke you a bit because there's a lot of people who are trying to get healthy, and all they need is somebody to come beside them and say, you know what? I believe in you. I don't understand what you're doing, but I believe in you, and I believe you can change your life. I did it, and I've kept the weight off for 6 years. You've kept your weight off. We live what we teach, right? So if you are interested, and maybe perhaps you're like, gosh, the group aspect is not for me. I need the one-on-one. We do have a couple. We do not take a lot of one-on-ones because it's intense. Yeah. It really is intense. But I know Coach Darcy has some openings for some one-on-one coaching, as well as myself. I am getting ready. Oh my gosh, Thursday morning, I have my exit interview for my addictions counseling, and so I'm kind of excited about that. After that interview, I will be opening my food addiction treatment center and fly. I'm going to fly with it. Nice. So, Darcy,
I'm excited for you.
Prep the way, because you're going to get real busy here. All right, guys, we are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're here for half hour. Today we went 40 minutes, but we're here for every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Let us know if there's a topic you want us to cover. There's not a topic that we won't cover. We have opinions on everything. Yeah. So we will see you next. We'll see you next Tuesday morning at 11. I got to get my thing set up here. My exit. We leave in an exit style.
Can we start doing high fives now? Can we do this?
How do we do that?
This way. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
Like this. 1, 2, 3.
Oh wait. We gotta practice.
Let's work on that one.
We gotta practice. Maybe we just do this.
No, it doesn't make sense, Monica.
It doesn't make sense. I'm dyslexic. All right, guys. We love you. We love you. We're gonna see you next Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. All right. Take care, guys.